Hi, kitty. Hi.
Meow, meow.
Hi. You don't like the food? He likes it. I was just riding my Segway this way and I saw this kitty walking along this wall and I just called to him and he stopped. He's so cute. And I called my mom, she brought him food. Look at him. He's just enjoying this fish. Delicious fish, so fresh. We just bought from the market this morning. That cat, he really loved this fish, didn't he? Well, so do these seagulls here. Every time a fishing boat is leaving again to the sea, you can hear their shrill cries of excitement as they come swooping in for some leftovers. And I think the people here, they are the same. So this morning I'm here on the beach with my mom to see what seafood you can buy, and these people are already waiting. Oh, guys, it's windy here today. It's so windy here on the beach. Anyway, welcome to my new video. This was gonna be a video about seafood all along, but recently I have this new idea when I learned that you can actually buy an anglerfish from the fish market here. Now, an anglerfish. So I just recently finished playing Outer Wilds. It's a space exploration game where they have this giant, terrifying anglerfish larger than your spaceship. And they lure their prey in from the light emitting from on top of their head. And I simply can't tell how many times it died between the jaws of an anglerfish in the game. Today, I want to take my sweet, sweet vengeance on them. Besides, I also hear the flesh of the anglerfish is going to be very delicious to eat, especially their liver. It can be very soft and very good to try. So I don't think today's video is going to be complete without me at least finding one anglerfish to try out for you guys. So wish me luck. So a street fair is almost like a cultural relic today, but you can still find it very much alive in these rural areas in China, and it could be the center where many villages' life revolve around. If you live in a big city, you'll have these shopping malls, convenience stores near your neighborhood, very close to where you live. But here, since the population is not large enough to support these supermarkets in every neighborhood, so here the vendors, the local people, they move from place to place to do their business. So you can see right now this street fair is occupying this whole street just like this, and they actually move from place to place on a weekly routine. They're on a tour. So today they may be in one place, then the next day they may be in another. They have 2 or 3 of these specific spots where they do their business. Today we're actually looking to buy some shellfish here. Those that you find in these shallow water tanks or these basins, they are live. As you know, they are fresh. We're not looking specifically to buy any anglerfish because, you know, a deep sea fish, they are dead right when they come to the surface of the sea. So you don't know how long they've been dead for, right? You don't know if they are fresh or not. We'll just buy some shellfish. Hey guys, after a lot of preparation, we have got this trail of shellfish on the table: abalone, sea snail and oyster. Can't wait to try them out, so let's dig in. This one right over here, we have got a beautiful abalone. You can see on the top we have put a few pieces of tomato and this one piece of green onion for decoration. Let's push them to the side, and you can see further down below, when my mom prepared this food, she has cut this grid shape into the flesh, so when she marinates the flesh with the soy sauce, it can better soak in. It should taste really beautiful. It should taste good without any sauce added onto it. So let's dig in. It's quite fresh, and chewing into the flesh is almost like gummy candies, except this thing is not sweet. All right, next we have got these oysters. Eating this food is like opening a treasure chest. There's an element of suspense. You don't really even know what is inside, whether it's going to be a large chunk of flesh or small, until you open them. I mean, some of those are really tight, but this one is already open, so I can already peep into the flesh. Let's open this anyways. Let's pick this
flesh up. It's really easy to peel off from the shell. Okay, over here we have got the sauce of soy sauce and vinegar and mustard and garlic. Let's dip it into this to give some zing, and let's try. Let's try another one without, okay, this breaks off. Let's try another one without a sauce added, because with the sauce it's like a bit thick. I think I prefer it with the sauce. This one, the meat, the texture of the meat is actually quite soft. It melts in your mouth, but without the sauce it's a bit fishy. The sauce like covers up the fishiness of the flesh and makes it more exciting. Last but not least, we have got this sea snail right over here, and the way to eat this is actually quite interesting. We use this stick and we stick it into the opening of the shell so we don't have to break the shell, right? We stick it right in and turn it around so the meat just gently comes out. What we want to do right here is we want to remove its intestines. We don't want to eat those. It's not gonna taste good. And this little thick piece right here is actually the cover to its shell, so it can actually cover up. It's like putting a lid on the opening of the shell if it senses danger or something. Okay, let's just peel this gently off with our finger and try this without any sauce. This one is a bit bitter at the beginning, but out of all these three it has the richest aftertaste once the bitterness passes. I think this is gonna feel good with the sauce, so I'm gonna try another one and dip it in the sauce. This makes it perfect. All right, if you would ask me which one I like the most out of all the three, I think the abalone is my favorite. It's the easiest one to eat, but of course it's the hardest one to prepare. The seafood we had tonight is great, but we still need to find an anglerfish. Now, maybe you already know about this, but this was new to me. So I spent this afternoon searching on the internet, learning about the anglerfish, and this absolutely blew my mind away. And of course, I'm talking about this weird and appalling way of their mating ritual, which is even weirder than the fact they have this glowing tip on their fishing rod they use to catch prey in the cold, dark ocean. Actually, the scientists, when they first classified the anglers, they never found the males. All the anglers they found were female. So they were puzzled, where did the males go? It wasn't until much later that they realized the missing males were there all along. These were none other than these small little parasitic fish that were attached to the soft underbelly of these females that were parasitic on the females. Basically how it works is once the male anglers were born, they spend all their life's energy swimming through the dark ocean, guided by the female's light from the fishing rod. And once he finds one, he bites into her underbelly and becomes part of her, and his blood vessels merges with her blood vessels, and eventually he degrades his head, his eyes, his teeth, and his brain, and some internal organs. Basically becomes nothing but a parasite, nothing but a sex organ that releases sperm into the ocean to merge with her egg. So this one article that I found really described this weird mating ritual well. This is William Beebe in 1938. To be driven by impelling odor headlong upon a mate so gigantic in such immense and forbidding darkness, and willfully eat a hole in her soft side, to feel the gradual increasing transfusion of her blood through one's vein, to lose everything that marked one as other than a worm, to become a brainless and senseless thing that was a fish. This is sheer fiction, and beyond all belief unless we have seen the proof of it.
Guys, right now we are standing in front of the Darching World community. Now this one may not look that different from everything else around here, but trust me, it actually has quite a bit of history behind it. So the Darching Oil Field is actually China's first and largest oil field. And back then, I mean a few decades ago, commercial housing, commercial properties wasn't even a thing in China. And for all these people who work for a state-owned company, their housing problem were on the shoulder of the government. So when they retired, the government moved them from the cold northeastern province to this place with beach and sunshine and gave every one of them a property near the beach here. So this one was the first. Like back 20 years ago, it was already here when everything else around here was nothing but wilderness. Just take a moment to let that sink in. Even today, this is probably the community with more people living in it than anywhere else, which is probably also why it has a dedicated fish market right next to it. And we're going there. No luck. Hey guys, right now we're in a hurry to get to a pier that's about 10 kilometers from here. So I just asked the local here, and usually there are 2 batches of boats that go out to the sea every day, and the one that goes out in the early morning usually returns sometime later in the afternoon. We are close to that time, I think, and at any time we could see a fish boat returning. There's another ship. What a massive anglerfish! Look at this fish. It has such a wide mouth, and this front roll is full of 2 rows of teeth, and this fish is massively sticky and slimy and it's gluey. And so I've been told the more sticky and juicy it is, the more fresh it is. It's hard to hold onto it because it's so slippery, and this juicy thing flows all onto your hand, and this hand is absolutely slimy and it's quite gross, but I hope its beautiful taste will make up for it, right? I need to wash my hands after this, I think.
If finding an anglerfish to buy has not been easy, then preparing the fish is more of a challenge. We have no experience with cooking an anglerfish, not to mention one that is this large. The job is made more difficult by the fish's giant pair of jaws and these small teeth in his throat. We need to remove them first, and ideally with a sharp knife, which unfortunately we don't have in this apartment. One big mistake that we made was leaving the fish in the fridge until the second day, when it started to smell a little bit. This is because an anglerfish will usually have a lot of smaller fish that it has eaten but not finished digesting in its stomach. In the end, we have to throw the stomach of the fish away. This is a huge waste, but more on that later. After gutting the fish and removing its jaws, we can now cut this fish into these large slabs of high quality and boneless flesh, which we are now going to cook in a red braised fashion. And check out this giant liver of the fish. The sheer size of it is quite satisfying to look at. And guys, look at this. This is one huge plate full of anglerfish liver. It's so huge, it's so huge. Let's try it out, because people say they are really good to eat, but I haven't tried it out. So let's dig in, pick up one huge piece of anglerfish liver. It tastes really good. Really good. You see, I am not usually a fan of animal livers, and the most common form of animal liver in Chinese food is the liver of pigs. And the liver of pigs is a bit hard to chew and it's a little bit bitter. But this one is quite different. It's quite creamy, almost sweet, and it almost tastes like the brain or eyes of a fish if you ever tried one. And the biggest difference is this one is soft. You could almost say it melts in your mouth. It's quite a surprise. Surprisingly good. And this is a big plate of the flesh of the anglerfish. They are in these big chunks and they don't have those small bones like many other fishes do. And you can just stuff your mouth with one big piece. Now, usually an anglerfish would boil down to a much smaller version of itself when it's gutted and washed and cooked. But this one that we bought is actually quite large. We have one full wok of this flesh and we still have a lot more remaining for tomorrow. And some parts of the meat, especially near the tail, that's really soft and tender. That's so good. The best part is, it's really cheap. This entire fish only cost us 36 RMB, about $6. And since we all loved it that much, we want to try another one. Hey guys, good morning. It's quite early in the morning and let me explain why we are here, right? So we had our first anglerfish and we thought, why don't we have another one? Because we wasn't quite experienced at cooking the anglerfish. So here we are. We actually went many places looking for another anglerfish, but actually the first time we got quite lucky because we had quite some trouble finding another one. Now this one is a major harbor of this entire place, and just behind me that's a landmark mountain of this place. You see its shape. So the name represents the shape. It literally translates to the big breast hill or the big nipple hill, and it is where the name of this entire town comes from. So under its foot, this is a major harbor. You can see the fishermen. They're just busy loading boxes and boxes of seafood. They are loading it onto a cargo ship. You can see it in the distance. And seafood from here actually exports to Korea and other countries. Luckily, we can find an anglerfish today because we came here a few days ago, but it was too windy and no fishing boats were out in the sea. We were quite lucky. Guys, so now we are doing a round 2 with the anglerfish. And here guys, we got a steaming hot plate of the stomach of anglerfish. This is a stir fried. It looks really beautiful with the chili. Let's try it out. It's a bit salty and very flavorful, especially with the chilies here. The taste is just perfect and it's quite crunchy, quite chewy. Gives you a lot of fun actually chewing this thing. Meow, meow, come on. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and stay subscribed. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.